basically where you're going to be watching for things to be rotating. Kind of gives you a good picture of where the winds might be going different directions very close together. And that's where you can get that spin. But right now, as Will was mentioning, there's not a lot that's screaming, this is a tornado right here. But there are some spots, though, that are showing up a little better. Right here around Buffalo Ridge. Is that what you were about to think?
Yeah, that came in, and that is a hot spot for sure.
You saw that little scan go by, and yeah, so it looks like that's kind of the hot spot right now. Even out ahead of it, it might be a little bit of broad rotation there as well. But yeah, I would say that area right there, just along 40. Looks like west of 57, and that's still, again, moving towards the northeast. But we've got 2 minutes left here. We'll look to see if they do actually update this and keep it going. The severe thunderstorm warning, that's the yellow polygon you're seeing. That's going to keep going to that last till 9 o'clock.
Another severe thunderstorm warning, Thomas, and I'm going to switch over to the regular mode just so this kind of registers. This is a new severe thunderstorm warning. This goes until 9:45. This was just issued. That does include a very, very tiny portion of the city of Danville, the city of Martinsville, but it includes practically the rest of Henry County, parts of southeast or southwestern Pennsylvania County, and then back into North Carolina. You also notice that also has that tornado possible tag to it as well. And that's kind of what we're going to see today. Pretty much any warning today, if it's a severe thunderstorm warning, it's going to have that little tornado possible tag there. That basically means that this is mainly a straight line wind event, which is basically those very strong gusty winds. But there is that very small chance that one of these might have a little bit of spin to it. But like we've been saying, if it's blowing in a straight line or if it's got some spin to it, wind is wind. These are going to be very gusty storms when they roll through, and you need to take them seriously. They've just dropped that tornado warning, by the way, Thomas.
Okay, thank you. And as Will just said, wind is wind. It doesn't matter whether or not it's wind or if it's a tornado that knocks your house down or knocks a tree into your house. Either one can have the same result for you. But as Will was mentioning, this now has a little tornado possible tag on it. But the storm itself is not what's moving through Danville. If you want to pull this just a little south, I just want to let people know that this is actually being warned for this area of the storm down here, just to the northwest of Summerfield. So that's what they're watching, and that's going to be moved. But it's still a broad area where they're keeping a close eye on that. And it looks like they dropped the tornado that was happening around Greensboro and the Winston-Salem area. But yeah, still a lot going on here just with these showers and storms that are starting to fire up. But you said they dropped the tornado warning. Let's go back to Henry County and the Franklin area and just check on that and see if anything. Because if there's not anything, we might stay here just for a few more minutes just to make sure everything's quiet for the moment. But as we've mentioned, with any tour possibles, we're probably going to try and just keep a close eye on these for the next few minutes. We might have to come back on.
Yeah, I think that they're going to keep a very close eye on that little spin there, and I'll circle it for you on the map. This area right in here is going to be definitely where they're watching. You can almost tell how, and let me erase that. You can almost tell how some of the winds are going in this direction. You've got some other winds going in here. We have almost a little mesolobe kind of forming right over this part of the county. And again, that's going to be moving into this direction right here. So we'll obviously be watching that pretty closely.
So yeah, this is the main portion of the storm that we're keeping an eye on. It was a tornado-warned storm. Just to update on anybody that's joining us now, we did have a tornado warning that was issued about 15 minutes ago. Now we've come on air, Will Stafford here, along with me, Thomas Battle, and we're just keeping an eye on this storm as it moves through parts of our viewing area, including Franklin, Henry County, Patrick County. That's going to be moving towards the northeast, but that tornado warning has now expired as of 8:45. However, there are still some little couplets that are going to be moving along. We're going to keep a close eye on those. Yeah, Will.
Just reading the text from the Weather Service, they have dropped it. The tornado threat is diminished, but the gusty wind threat, basically what we've been saying all morning long, especially there on that southern end of the line where you see these very, very bright returns here. This is some very beefy wind, about ready to move on over into parts of Henry County as well. And this whole line is moving up to the north. So if you're in Bassett, if you're in Oak Level, just be alert here over the next cut. This should be around Bassett and Oak Level roughly here in the next probably 13 minutes at around 9 o'clock as it moves up to the north at around 60.
All right, so if we can let's bring the radar back in, and let's get a little broad picture real quick. And I'm going to time out what's going on in the next few minutes. We'll see if anything else comes out. And if nothing else happens, guys, we'll drop here at about 8:50 or so, and we'll return you guys back to programming for a few minutes. We'll have another update coming up here in about 5 or 6 minutes. But yeah, so here's that main line that we're going to be watching, moving into the Bassett area at about 9 o'clock, Collinsville at 9:06, Martinsville within the next 15, 20 minutes, Burnt Chimney as well, about 25 minutes, but still a little ways to go. Now, again, we're not done just because this has stopped. The tornadoes that we could see today continue till about noon. So we still could be breaking into programming here for another 2 or 3 hours. And as always, we're putting your safety above programming. We want to make sure that everybody's staying safe, and that's our main priority here, is trying to keep you guys safe and as informed as possible. Note this strong line that's moving just north of Blacksburg, too. That's pretty potent looking. That's going to be moving eastward. But also, I want you to notice behind Blacksburg, moving towards Whitfield, Bluefield, things are already clearing up there. So this drops off very fast. Once it moves through, your severe threat is pretty much done for the day. We should be able to start drying out later this afternoon. But again, we're just gonna have to keep a close eye on these. We might have to come back in here in a few minutes. If you're in the Roanoke area, you still have a little more time till that line over Blacksburg. That's likely, but